Imagine a music producer sitting in front of a soundboard, meticulously adjusting the EQ controls to craft the perfect track. By boosting certain frequencies and cutting others, the producer shapes the soundscape, guiding the listener's experience to match a precise, artistic vision. This process of fine-tuning is not unlike how governments shape public perception using fiat money. Just as the producer manipulates sound, governments use propaganda to amplify narratives that sustain belief in a currency backed by nothing tangible. Fiat money is a currency that derives its value solely from the authority and decree of the government, lacking any intrinsic worth like gold or silver. The value of fiat money is entirely dependent on the trust and confidence that people place in the issuing government. A trust that is not naturally occurring, but carefully cultivated through a network of narratives and psychological operations. Much like an equalizer in music production shapes sound by amplifying certain frequencies and muting others, governments use propaganda to shape public perception and sustain confidence in fiat money. This manipulation of perception is essential for maintaining the illusion of value in a currency that is backed by nothing tangible. The relentless and pervasive propaganda machine, which includes media, educational institutions, and entertainment industries, ensures that the public's trust in fiat money is constantly reinforced. These institutions function as the EQ controls of society, amplifying government-approved narratives while muting dissenting voices, effectively shaping the collective consciousness. Through strategic curation of information, psyops guide thoughts, emotions, and beliefs in ways that serve governmental interests. By flooding the information landscape with particular narratives, they ensure that alternative viewpoints remain on the fringes, barely heard and often dismissed. In this way, fiat money acts as a subtle form of mind control, manipulating the information landscape to maintain the illusion of stability and trust in a system that, at its core, is built on perception rather than substance. To truly understand the forces shaping our perceptions, we must recognize the mechanisms behind the fiat monetary system and the pervasive influence of those who control it. The carefully crafted reality presented by politicians, media, and entertainment is designed to keep us tethered to a currency system that lacks intrinsic value and relies on our unquestioning belief. The shaping of public perception in the interest of government power is not an abstract concept. It's a reality that has played out repeatedly in recent history. Consider the invasion of Iraq in 2003, where the U.S. government, with the aid of media, convinced the public that Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction. This narrative, aggressively promoted despite evidence to the contrary, led to widespread support for a war based on lies. Similarly, during the Vietnam War, the Gulf of Tonkin incident was used to justify escalation, despite the fact that the alleged attack on U.S. ships by North Vietnamese forces was either exaggerated or entirely fabricated. Even beyond warfare, governments have repeatedly misled the public to further their interests. In the 1960s, Operation Northwoods, a secret U.S. military proposal, planned to stage attacks on American soil and blame them on Cuba to justify military intervention. Though the plan was never carried out, it shows how far governments are willing to go in manufacturing consent. In more recent times, the extent of mass surveillance by the NSA was hidden from the public until whistleblower Edward Snowden revealed the truth. For years, the government denied the full scope of their invasive surveillance programs, all in the name of national security. These are just a few examples of how governments manipulate reality to align with their agendas, shaping our beliefs and decisions through misinformation. The fiat monetary system is part of the same machinery, controlling perception through continuous propaganda, ensuring that we remain compliant and unquestioning. By separating money from the state, Bitcoin removes the government's most powerful tool for shaping society's thoughts and perceptions, the money printer. Without the ability to endlessly print fiat currency, the government can no longer manipulate public opinion through unchecked spending. The current system allows for unlimited spending bills, often disguised with clever language and hidden intentions, filled with earmarks, subsidies, and bloated expenditures that burden future generations with debt. This ability to print money fuels the endless propaganda machine, enabling governments to finance their agendas without regard for economic consequences. Bitcoin introduces a hard money standard that enforces scarcity through code, forcing the government to operate within the boundaries of economic reality. No longer able to create money out of thin air, the government would be constrained by supply and demand, accountable to the same laws of economic physics that apply to everyone else. With Bitcoin, the power to shape perception through financial manipulation is stripped away, replacing it with a system built on transparency, truth, and fairness, ensuring that the future is no longer mortgaged to serve the political agendas of the present. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, in a world full of deception, seek the truth.